Well, she's now a mum living in the suburbs, but every Sunday night, Deborah Locke's extraordinary life story plays out on our TVs on Underbelly, the Golden Mile. It's Detective Senior Constable Debbie Webb. Deb was an honest young cop who risked everything to expose her corrupt colleagues. Bravery that sparked a royal commission and brought down a police force. Larger than life, down to earth and gutsy, Deb is a forgotten Australian hero. Well, now for the first time she reveals why she did it and why she's still looking over her shoulder.
I went in there, you know, young, enthusiastic, bright-eyed, wanting to make a difference.
Welcome to the King's Cross Detectives, love.
Yeah, well. Bloody great to be here. I drank as much as the boys. I swore as loud as the boys. I was one of the boys. I wanted to be one of the boys. I wanted to be accepted. I just wanted to be a cop.
What the f*** did you bring her here for?
She's all right, mate. OK? I'm drone.
I was ostracised. I was threatened. I was assaulted. I was afraid for my life. You know, I really thought I was going to die. It's very dirty down here with the drugs and the corruption that's going on. It's certainly a lot better than what it was.
So lots of memories on this street?
Oh, a lot, an awful lot. I've spent a lot of years running up and down the Golden Mile.
Every Sunday night, Deborah Locke has the surreal experience of watching her life on television.
That's so me. That's so me. It's weird. You should be dead before someone does your life story, you know.
Her career started in 1984, when the police force was supposed to be changing for the better, becoming more diverse and accessible.
So I was so proud. It was really amazing from the background I came from that I was becoming a policewoman.
And you were hoping for big things.
Oh, yeah. I had lots of dreams that were shattered very quickly. So I was told that I was lower than the police dog, being a woman.
You think any of these boys in here want to partner up with you? You want a job? Make me a cup of coffee.
Abuse, harassment and assaults were rife.
Let me go.
When we saw the assault on the pool table, that was such a disturbing scene. Did things like that happen in the force?
Yeah. And it was actually a mealroom table, but it's all true. And it all happened, and it was two different girls, same blokes, mealroom tables, but both of them stuffed, both of them. You don't come back from that stuff.
You going somewhere?
To most of her male colleagues, Deb was a double threat, a woman and an honest cop, one who saw exactly what they were up to.
Some of the vice were involved in vice, some of the drug squad were involved in drugs. You know, the gaming squad, there was not much arrests going on there. There's a lot of gaming going on. It was just crazy. They just kept trying to drag me into the money. They'd put wads of money in my hand. They'd try to drag me into their rubbish, and they weren't going to let me be there without having something on me.
You're saying I put my name on an insurance scam?
When Deb was tricked into signing off on a bogus insurance claim and putting her fingerprints on a gun licence for crime kingpin Lenny McPherson, she finally had enough.
I was just like, you don't do that to me. You know, you don't frighten me. I'm not going to wear it.
No one much likes whistleblowers, Detective Constable. Particularly in an organisation like the police.
I don't know what a whistleblower is, sir, but what I do know is I'm telling the truth.
But corruption went much higher than Deb realised. The accusations she made to the internal police security unit made it back to the office before she did.
I was dead girl walking. People were shaking their heads, just going, you're mental. What are you doing? You silly little girl. You know, you're going to die.
Those death threats were all too believable. As dramatised on the series Blue Murder, policeman Mick Drury had been shot after turning down a bribe from a fellow officer. He survived, and Mick and Deb ended up together on a laughable car theft operation, sidelined and detested.
I just thought that was a really bad idea because they could have just got both of us in one go. I was in hell. I wanted to just be a good cop and do my job, and I was sitting with these gotcha cars, and it was embarrassing. I was ashamed and I was embarrassed.
Meet the Gotcha Task Force. Hi. Tim, Deirdre. Now, get your gear off and follow me.
You didn't really have a meeting on a nude beach, though, did you?
It wasn't 2 cops, it was 5 cops. I'd obviously been out still drinking all night, and I'm going, OK, clothes off, this is a team-building, bonding session. You know, and they're dropping guns on the beach and going for a swim, you know, at 7 a.m. It was a bit crazy.
If work was crazy, home life was insane. The really frightening characters in Deb's story are her mum and dad.
Well, I never saw them sober. They always kept a bit of grog for the morning.
Got a woman inside who's discharged the firearm. She may have a hostage.
Point 1, I'm a cop. Point 2, that'll be me mum. And point 3, that's no hostage, that's me dad.
It was like Iron Park Kettle. They used to shoot at each other when they were cranky.
So how do the real Irene and John compare to the ones in Underbelly?
Oh, they did a good job. I think Irene was a lot more scarier.
In person, she was worse?
She was worse, much worse in person.
So how far did the apple fall from the tree?
Not too far, I don't think. Because I've got that tough streak in me. I'm strong, and I think that's how I survived.
It was that tough streak that fired Deb back into the fraud squad and into the arms of fellow clean cop Greg Locke. With his support, she began to document the corruption she saw.
When I first went there, people who didn't know who I was, they said, don't ever work with Lockie. If there's any money around, he won't take it. And, you know, and I went, this is sexy, another cop that won't take money.
When you look back to those times, what was the main emotion around back then? How would you describe the stress?
I was always thinking, we have to be careful what we say, where we go, don't stand in front of the window at night. We used to, if we were going to talk about something, we'd go out in the backyard because you never knew if your house was bugged or whatever. So, yeah, it was pretty sort of tense time.
King's Cross head of detectives Chuck Fowler was just one of many people who had a lot to lose. To see them caught on camera and having to finally face the music, was that a satisfying feeling?
It was unbelievable. Like, it was just like the truth's coming out. The truth is coming out.
Without Debbie Locke, the Royal Commission would not have happened. Her contribution was absolutely vital because she showed the link between people in plain clothes, detectives and organised criminals in this state.
After 20 years of campaigning, independent MP John Hatton finally got his commission because Deb had courageously written every bribe, scam and threat in her duty book.
Can you just sign my duty book?
Oh, and I'd feel sick because I thought if they read this, what they're actually signing, I would have just been punched out in a spot. I would have, it would have been ripped up and I would have been, who knows what would have happened. Like, that gave the solid evidence. It gave a solid foundation of the corruption and what was going on. It was times, dates, places, people.
The rotten core of the police force still thought they'd get away with it.
We are in this together. You just keep our mouths shut and keep our heads down, and there's no way any of us are going to go down. All right?
And what happened was, what changed was modern technology, was cameras, listening devices, and it was the first time the cards all fell down.
But anyway.
And as we'll see on Sunday's episode, cops like Chuck finally had nowhere to hide.
And the money you were seen to receive, do you have any explanation for that?
It might not really have been me.
Are you suggesting that we cobbled this video together, got an actor to play you, and then pretend to take the money?
Oh, funny things happen, Your Honour.
Deb stood up to 6 days of intense cross-examination at the Commission before collapsing on the stand and giving birth to her son Hayes 16 weeks early.
How are you feeling?
Cruel.
Still feeling cruel?
It almost cost the life of my son.
Because of the stress?
He's got brain damage. We've got a legacy from by telling the truth and supporting Hatton and getting the Royal Commission. It's lost Hayes' future.
19 police officers committed suicide in the wake of the Royal Commission. 380 took up the offer of amnesty, walking away from their jobs and their pensions. Does Underbelly exaggerate what happened?
They've had to tone it down a bit, I think, because sometimes true life's stranger than fiction, Everything in Underbelly is real, Even the tattoo. The tattoo's real, Is it? Greg's real,
Let's have a look.
Ah, here you go. Hey, Greg says, it used to be a rose, but now it's a gladdy these days. You have 3 kids. That's what happens. But it really is real, guys. Splash for national television.
Deb used to wonder if she'd survive the cross. She certainly never imagined she'd see her daughter acting as a prostitute on those same streets. Vanessa has a small role on Underbelly.
Here we go, the red velvet dress. We know it's you. My daughter up the cross, King's Cross. Here we go.
That dress is a bit short.
Yeah, what's going on there? If I died today, I'm a happy person. I've had a good life. I've had to make a difference. I stood up for what I believed in, and I've never pretended I'm some great person. What I am is I just hate garbage.
Are you concerned about anybody coming out of the woodwork now with Underbelly bringing all this stuff back up again?
So I still drive around back streets, look in the mirror, like just especially at the moment because there's a few people that are a bit upset.
So you're still looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, but like I wouldn't see it coming. I wouldn't know. So I just live a day at a time. Like I have a great life, and it's all a bonus. This is all bonus. I'm happy.
She's a classic, isn't she? The inspirational Deborah Locke. Deb's been sober for 20 years. She now works at a women's refuge, and she loves every minute of it. She is a true gem.